everybody, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. Now I know why I like this up here. Um, anyway, let me greet everybody real quick. Havorden Hardugu Dog Ola Oitabang Vatsas Los Bonjour mes amis, Kedu Bawani Konnichiwa, Ni hao ni ama, Sani Bonani, Jambo Barigani, Assalamu alaikum and Shalom. It's better down here for real, but for speaking, it's better up here. Anyway, so what's up, everybody? Back again. And because she's in the mix, and as y'all know, we have been battling with this woman on behalf of Afro men and the entire Afro community, because we understand that when you attack and lie about the history of Afro men in America, you not only disparage men, but you disparage the entire damn community. All right. And this woman knows what she's doing. All right. So we're dismantling the character Cynthia G and the character assassination of the Afro man that she is doing. All right. And people are slowly becoming more aware of her through this Fox thing, whatever they had. And we'll go through this. We're going to break this down. And they're not really realizing that Afro men have been battling this since she's been on YouTube. All right. So we're going to go into a couple of things and break things down real quick. Okay. Let me greet everybody real quick. Havorden Hardugu Dog Ola Oitabang Vassas Los Bonjour mes amis, Kedu Bawani Konnichiwa, Ni hao ni ama, Sani Bonani, Jambo Herbargani, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom, Kumusta ka, Kumusta po kayo, and Talafalaba soy fua. Alright, so let's get into this real quick, but first, let me remind you to get the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. Alright. If you like what I'm doing in the community, my Cash App and PayPal me will be in the description box. If you want to know what I'm doing in the community, just type in Reluctant Nabi and put favela and look at that, or Reluctant Nabi and Brazil. But put favela. That gives you more insight as to what I'm about. All right, so let's break this down real quick or real slow. I think I'll make this a quick one. Let's get into it. All right, so here we go. Pay attention to the vitriolic rhetoric that comes out of this woman's mouth.
You giving birth to these males and you don't even understand their mindset. Like, come on now.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
what are we doing? What are we doing? And this is what you're advocating to give birth to. I mean, Tommy at some point was a baby.
Mhm.
He was a baby at some point.
Mhm. Yeah, you're only a baby for a small amount of time.
Now, I want to stop that there. She says you're only a baby for a small amount of time. Who raised Tommy Sotomayor? If you followed him for any period of time, he would tell you he was raised by his single mother. See, a lot of brothers are having a problem of being denied a father. And they realize once they become adults that their mother is the reason that they have been denied a father. And not a man, a stepfather, but they've been denied their father. They've been denied the person that created them. You were not created by a woman. You came through a woman, but you were created by a man in his loins. That's the gonads. All right? That's who made you. You could have been put in any other woman outside of your mother and you could exist. But you take away who your father actually really was, then you don't exist at all as a human being. In other words, wow, Cynthia G disparages men. She failed to realize that if her father don't put a seed in some woman, it didn't even have to be her mother. It didn't have to be her mother. But if he don't put a seed in some woman, she does not exist at all, period. He could have put it in her mother. He could have put her in some other woman. And that other woman could have been her mother. But you take the father away, she doesn't exist. So how do you think males feel when we grow up and find out that it is our mothers? In the vast majority of cases, especially in the past, more so than now, in the vast majority of cases, it was the mothers that decided that she was going to deny the father. Period. And we only find out as we grow up and go get the real story, not only from the father, but from other family members. All right? Pay attention to this.
And this is what black women are desperate to keep giving birth to.
This is what they're
arguing in favor of keeping alive.
All right. So this is a woman that proposed that black women abort Afro male babies only. Right? Now, keep in mind that between 1973 to the current date, that black women aborted over 24 million Afro people. Understand this, not counting New York, New Hampshire, California, Maryland, all right, and many other states. So if you add those in, especially California, Maryland, all right, I'm missing one. California, Maryland, New Hampshire. But if you put in California, Maryland, and New York, all right, and add those, in that time span, you get close to 60 million over that, possibly, right? Now, keep this figure in mind, that 60% of those were males. All right, so she's advocating things that black women had already been doing. She's advocating divestment, but black women have been doing that since before slavery. If you read The Daughters of the Trade by Pernell Ibsen, you will find that they're the reason why the Europeans started using this game for this kind of stuff. Understand this, but this mess is deeper than this. Now listen to this as we break this down. This is going to be a little bit because we're going to just really digest this.
White supremacy, does it exist in your world? And has it affected black men?
Absolutely, it exists, and black men have worked in tandem with white supremacy.
Now, this is deflection. And how do we know this? Because it wasn't us that worked in tandem with it. It has always been the black woman. She's been fighting with the white women, and every negative thing that happened to us as a community happened by way of the black woman. Period. When we talk about feminist and the feminism, that was white supremacy. All right. When we talk about the abortion thing, as I mentioned before, when many of us was unalived by them, the black woman, to the tune that we do not reach our population retention point. All right, and I brought awareness to that like around 2010, and it's something that I learned about by watching a a CD, or well, it was a documentary called "What Black Men Think." All right, and so what happened is that all the negative stereotypes we believed about Afro men came by way of these women like this, and they were all lies. So let's continue on with the lies she's about to spill.
Since they've become in contact with it. And this is why I say in the Black community we have very disingenuous, very dishonest discussions, especially when it's regarding Black men, because we do have a Black male worshiping culture.
Okay, so no one worships the black male in the so-called black community. But who do they worship? All right, when is the last time you see a bunch of people walk around calling just any random Afro man a king? As supposedly pro-Hotep, pro-Pan-Africa as Dr. Umar Johnson is, he has never called Afro men kings. None that I heard. Now, he might have said it, and somebody under the sound of my voice may have heard that, but I've not heard it. But what we do know is he calls anything, any female with any hue of melanin, queens. He calls all black women queens, whether they're LGBTQ, RSTU, VWXYZ, or other. He does it so bad that he just called a TS a queen. Hey, did that TS get transsexual? Did she get whatever? But did they get upset about that? Okay, it was other people that responded. So yeah. So other people knew, he didn't know, and he called the TS queen because he calls everything that looks female with brown or dark brown skin queen, but nobody calls men, the Afro men, kings. Nobody does. Nobody does. Accountability, Afro men, if we have sex with a woman, we can go to jail for that. A woman can abuse a child and not see a day behind bars. Understand this. A woman can abuse a child and not see a day behind bars.
So what we do within that culture, and Umar Johnson is showing it today, is absolve black men from any accountability for what they've done. Number one, we wouldn't be in a system of white supremacy had it not been for black men. So if you want to go all the way back to history, then let's go back to history when black men were selling their own people into white supremacy.
Okay, so understand, she is blaming the American Afro men who are over here for selling ourselves. Okay, I don't know how I did it, but apparently I sold my ancestors that came here on these ships, those that were already here, we sold ourselves onto the ship. How did that work? But she ain't going to go read Daughters of the Trade to find out that it was the black women that worked in tandem with the white Dutch and the Portuguese under marriage, living off of the wealth of selling black people. Oh, this new movie out, The Woman King, when you go look at that tribe, they were fighting to maintain slavery. Oh, y'all didn't know about that, huh? See, people started looking up that tribe that they were supposed to represent. All right, remember the video I did about Queen Mzinga? And I think this movie was based on her specifically. All right, and so this woman has lost it as far as when it comes to history.
Let's go back into history when 16 years off the plantation, black men were worried about a war being waged on them. They were worried about getting access to white women. That's what you were worried about.
Except the only people sleeping with the white people were black women. Again, See, the Afro man being caught with a white woman would have been hung. His child would have been put to death. It was the black women that made Lena Horne. All right. Maya Angelou. Y'all like to lift her up. She was married to a white man twice. He was French. All right. When you look at it, they were the only ones making babies with these Caucasian men. Because the Afro man couldn't, until Loving versus Virginia, the Afro man couldn't legally, and for that matter, the white woman couldn't legally get with anyone outside of the white man. And the Afro man damn for sure couldn't do it. Many of these women were marrying members of the Klan, this, that, and the other, setting up their fathers, setting up their uncles to be taken out by the Klan. All right, that's the real history. All right, black women were not assassinated for anything, but Martin Luther King was an Afro man. Malcolm X was an Afro man. Huey was an Afro man. Stokely Carmichael, an Afro man. Fred Hampton, in his bed by the FBI and the police, an Afro man. The Black Panthers, they brought up WIC, Head Start, after school programs, Meals on Wheels, the school breakfast. All right, they had Safe for the Old People, free ambulance, and a free clinic, just to name a few. When men look out for the community, they look out for the health of the community and primarily things that women might need at the expense of men. And this is what the government didn't like about them. This is why the government got rid of them. They went after Fred Hampton because he organized and got the Caucasians and the Hispanics together, doing the same thing peacefully.
Worried about. And it's interesting. There's a reason why I feel like Umar focused mostly on me and Hope's attitudes, and it's because he can't accurately answer the question.
All right. And so we now know this woman is so full of it, it's ridiculous, right? But there is a solution. And for those of us that can't find a decent woman here in the United States, there is a solution. It's called a passport. You have a few options. I'm telling you, brothers, you have a few options. Get your passport and leave these women alone, right? If you can't find class that you're looking for, all right, and understand, women are going to be issues when you first meet them, like, and it's stuff you got to get used to. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about the ones that don't mean us any good from the jump, right? No, quality women, you got to look outside of the United States. Go to the islands, go to Brazil, go to Colombia, go to Thailand, right? Because women like Cynthia G, they are too dangerous to be around or even have a conversation with. All right, you got a few rubies and unicorns in the United States, but it's only a few. So that means the masses of us that got our stuff together need to travel out and get with the so-called babes. All right. At the end of the day, this is their role models. All right. And so we don't have to put up with their role models and what their role models are. All right. Let them eat dust. Let them hit that wall alone. And it is war. And people don't know how bad it's about to get. Some feel it. All right. But they are not worthy of our help. Because if they're not with us, they've been against us. And they're not worth our help once the SH hit the fan. With that said, I'm out. Oh, by the way, this is a no depolicing zone. So let the simps and manginas and all the rest of them creeps hit that wall too. Because nobody can tell us who we lay pipe in. Period. Because we're men. They didn't care when a white man was doing it with the black woman. And I didn't see them fighting him. All right. So they need to shut the hell up and move the hell on. With that said, I'm out.